Welcome, diecast fans. I'm Tom Spanners Watson.
And I'm Frank the Guru Gibbs.
And it's time for the GT Manufacturers Cup. We are super excited about this one. This is going to be an absolutely epic tournament. We've got 8 different manufacturers, 4 drivers for each, for a field of 32 drivers. Frank, run them through the rules.
Thanks, Tom. Now, it's a bit different this time. If you finish on your wheels fully through the exit to Kahuna corner, you'll get half the points if you haven't crossed the finish line. So in this situation, this Mustang would get half the points of the position that he's in on the field. Now, if you finish on your side or on your roof, including crossing the finish line, that's a DNF. But if you finish off track, not only is that a DNF with 0 points, it also means you miss your next lap because they've got to retrieve your car and repair it. Let's have a quick review of how the points work.
Okay, so first up, first place gets 10, second 8, third 6, fourth on down gets 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and a DNF is 0. Now there's also manufacturers points where there are only points for the first 3 manufacturers across the line. After that, it's 0 points.
And at the end of the 4 rounds, the top 8 drivers, regardless of manufacturer, will go through to the final.
Okay, first up, in the Bentley we've got John Ludka, BMW we've got Cretin, row 2 we've got the Cadillac with Jim Heltman and Kit Kayam in the Renault, behind them the Porsche of Glenn Harding and Sean Cook in the Dodge, and rounding it out we've got Burt Cardwell in the Ford and Willie Makeit in the Jaguar.
Bit of a mix of old and new drivers there, be interesting to see how they go.
They're lined up, ready to go. Green light, let's go! The BMW has a bit of trouble through Kayam corner. The Bentley gets out in front.
Kayam blocking the track. Oh, and Sean Cook gets through beautifully there to overtake Kit Kayam right at the last minute.
That was a great bit of driving by Sean Cook. Let's go back and... Oh, hang on, we're missing someone.
Oh no, that's the Jag of Willie Makeit. Obviously he didn't make it.
Let's go to the Granny Muffins replay.
So you see they come down here pretty even through the jump in first and second. And oh, there you see the Jaguar of Willie Makeit slides along the barrier and then flips off on the side there. Parks up for one of Granny's muffins.
Well, they are, mouthfuls of delicious. But look at this overtake down the last straight here. Sean Cook pushing so hard against Kit Kayam, gets around him and takes the points.
Yeah, that's just a superb bit of driving. Kit Kayam was doing everything he could to try and block it, but just couldn't hold him out. Great bit of driving, Sean Cook.
And a disappointing start for the Jaguar of Willie Makeit. I really thought it was going to do well. He was a favourite for the competition, but it's just not looking that good so far. Congratulations to John Ludka for the win, 10 points. Craig gets 8. Now, because Willie Makeit crashed out, he doesn't feature in this race. All the drivers have rotated around and we're down 1, so there's only 7 drivers in this race. Okay, they're lined up at the start, waiting for the green, and they're off. Pretty even coming down. The BMW jumps out to an early lead. Sean Cook coming in hard in behind. Someone's gone over there by the sound of it. Sean Cook pushing all the way hard on that BMW. Oh, that's Kit Kayam that's gone over.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It looks like he may have got slammed over in Kahuna corner. But let's just go back and have a look at the petrol head replay. You see here, Cretin, beautiful jump out in front. Oh, I see. Kit Kayam there catches his wing on the side of the track, gets flipped up very violently, lands on top of the Bentley, and those boys were not holding back. They just pushed right on through. And then you'll see it here. Cretin comes through first, Sean Cook second, Caddy, Bentley, Ford. And unfortunately now the Porsche got held up, so he's going to get half points. He would have got 2 points, but he just ended up with 1.
Alright, we're back to a full complement of drivers now. They've rotated around again, and we are trying an X pattern with this rotation so that drivers don't get stuck behind the same people time after time.
Yeah, particularly with this bigger field, you just don't want to get stuck behind the same person for 3 or 4 races in a row.
Green light, let's go!
Sean Cook in that Dodge has floored it, fired up the Hemi, he's pushing hard out the front, looks like he's got it clean. Oh, there's a huge battle for second and third there. I'm not quite sure who won that, but it's very, very tight.
Alright, we go to the Granny Muffin replay. Now, whoa, look at the BMW there, getting up on the barrier, managing to get it back under control. But Sean Cook and the Dodge well out in front there very nicely. And check out this battle for second as the BMW goes up the inside of the caddy as they fight around to the final straight. Oh, and we lost one there. I didn't even notice that we're missing one. Who was that? That was the Porsche. Oh, that's Glenn Harding. So he took a bad bounce there at Kahuna Corner and went off. That means he is going to be out for the next race.
Oh, he'll be gutted about that one.
But look at this, the Ford comes through, then there's a huge battle between the Caddy and the BMW, and it looks like the Caddy may have just slipped through and taken second place there. Let's have a look at the finish road cam, see if that's any better.
Oh, that's tough to see. The Dodge was blocking the view there, mate. Oh, and even the Bentley came through. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Caddy takes the win. But look at this one further back. That Bentley came flying through from behind to pick up an extra couple of points.
Well done there. Sean Cook takes out the win. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everyone. So we're down another race car because he's got to get that car repaired after going off track.
That Porsche is definitely having problems. I'm sure Glenn's working hard on it right now.
So they line up at the top, waiting for the green. Race 4. And they're away.
Sean Cook again. Look at, oh, Sean is almost off the track, off the side of the bridge. There's absolute carnage everywhere. What is going on?
I don't know, mate. Sean amazingly managed to hold himself on the side of the bridge. If he'd gone off the side there, that could have been absolute carnage. Oh, and the Bentley's over. So that's John Ludker's gone over. Oh, and we've got Kit Kayam off the track as well. So we go to the Petrolhead replay. What happened in that first corner?
Oh, look at that. Sean just gassed it far too much coming into Kayam corner. Flips over into the other track and then gets punted out by the Ford there, driven by Burt Cardwell. And luckily for him, he stayed on the track. But what happened with Kit Kayam? Oh, he kind of got held up and just flipped off a lot like the Porsche did last time. Jeepers, we're so lucky no one's been killed there. And then it was just really a 3-car race.
Yeah, that was definitely the toughest lap we've had so far. A lot of carnage there, but let's hope these boys can tidy it up and get things back on track. But with 2 cars off the track, we're now down to only 6 cars instead of 8.
Maybe a bit more space on the track will let them clean it up a bit.
Well, we're about to find out as we head up for race 5.
Wow, there's some massive carnage so far. Lucky we're not running McNass carnage rules.
Oh, that looked like the Jaguar shooting out to a huge leap. Oh, massive spin there. Here comes the Ford challenging last minute. Can't do it.
At least they all finished this time. It was a little bit cleaner race. In the Granny Muffin replay, you'll see here the Jag was miles out front, but just got a bad bounce there. Oh, and that was the caddy there, looked like, of Jim Heltman sliding down the rail. Lucky for him, he managed to get it back on track, whereas a lot of others have gone off there. And we end up with all 6 drivers crossing the finish line.
So Willie Make It picks up the win with 10 points. Much needed at this point of the competition. So we've got Willie Make It and Glenn Harding up front, Kit Kayam and Burt Cardwell in behind, Sean Cook and John Ludker, followed up by Cretin and Jim Houtman.
And let's see if they can tidy it up a bit with all 8 back on the track this time.
Green light and they're off. Willie Make It out front, Kit Kayam pushing into second. Oh, here comes the crowd in behind. And the 4 challengers, he comes through. Oh, he just about takes out Kit Kayam there, but he does beat the Porsche. That was crazy close. As we go through the Petrolhead replay.
Look at this. The Dodge gets a bit of a bump from behind and almost goes over. Kit Kayam spinning wildly, loses all his momentum. Then here you got the Porsche and the Ford both knocking on his back door. Oh, and you've got there, you see Sean Cook comes through and unfortunately knocks Glenn Harding over the line ahead of him and almost let the Bentley through ahead of him, which would have been tragic.
Well, as we head into race 7, there's action aplenty. As the drivers rotate, we've got Glenn Harding and Kit Kayam in the front row, John Ludker and Willie Make It behind them, followed up by Burt Cardwell and Cretin, and finally Jim Houtman and Sean Cook round out the field.
There was a good close race last time. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do now.
Green light and they're off.
Kayam jumps out early, he's pushing hard, getting some clear track. Oh, he spent. That looked like Glenn Harding going over. So, a bit of carnage on the track there in lap number 7. We've got the Bentley over and the Porsche, and a huge pile-up in behind. Now, those 3 cars that are still on their wheels will end up with half points based on the position they're in and on the field at the moment. But it looked pretty. Oh, that's what flipped the Bentley over. You see there, he came over and landed actually on the BMW's nose. That flipped him over, and then the Porsche just took a bad bounce into Kahuna Corner. See him get his back end up, and that just flipped him over, and he gets violently thrown around. The BMW tries to get past, and then you've got the Jaguar there pushing hard, trying to get past Kit Kayam. Couldn't quite pull it off, but he was super close. But nice bit of driving there by Cretin in the BMW to get around and clear the carnage on the track to come through for the extra points for third place.
And Kit picking up 10 points that he really needed. So for this final lap, we've got Kit Kayam and John Ludker in the front row, Cretin and Glenn Harding behind them. In the third row, we've got Willie Makeit and Jim Heltman, and finally we've got Sean Cook and Burke Hardwell in the back row. They line up ready to race. This is the last chance to get some points on the board, and the Bentley storms out in front. Kit Kayam pulling back. Oh, Kit Kayam goes over. Oh my goodness, right across the finish line. There are cars in every direction. They're going 3 wide across the finish. That is just ridiculous.
All right, let's have a look at the Petrolhead replay. It was a fast race into Kahuna Corner, and that's where it all started to go horribly wrong. The Renault of Kit Kayam goes over. The others are bouncing around, and then here you see the Porsche pulls wide for a bit of clear space, but Cretin shuts that door, and then coming down the inside, a beautiful move there by Sean Cook in the Dodge to take second place. I really thought the Porsche of Glenn Harding had it, or the Bentley, but that Dodge slipped through beautifully. You'll see it here. There goes the Dodge, then the Bentley, but look at that, that's the Porsche first. And then this last place, the Caddy takes it over the Ford by a splitter. That was ridiculously close for the final race. And unfortunately, Kit Kayam, our first driver to cross the finish line on his roof, doesn't count. That is a DNF for him.
So looking at the total points, congratulations to Cretin pulling off 52 points, and Willie Makeit and the Jaguar at 45, 2 top drivers so far. Now at this point, every one of these drivers is safe because we don't know what's going to happen in these other races.
Now looking at the manufacturer's points, Cretin did a great job for BMW, and Willie Makeit did a great job for Jaguar there, 12 and 11 points respectively. Dodge close behind on 8, and then it's just a race to the bottom with the others.
Well, there has been plenty of excitement tonight. We hope you've enjoyed it.
With close racing like that, how could you not enjoy it, mate?
We've got round number 2 next week. You're definitely going to want to catch that one. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Tom Spinners Watson. He's Frank the Guru Gibbs. We'll see you next time.
Man, that was such a good start to the series. I can't wait to see what happens next week.
I know, mate. It's looking like it's going to be epic.